protecting. We have a functional system in place. You need to leave this alone.
I find this show annoying, and the reason why is the characters make decisions that are only to serve the purpose of the plot. They do not make these decisions because they actually make sense. For example, we find out that Cal had some sort of like giant EMP system thing. So if he would have pressed that button, it would have stopped all of the nuclear bombs that were being deployed, nuclear missiles that were being deployed when they were on the airplane. But instead of pressing the button, he just looks at all of the missiles flying through the air and doesn't hit the button until like after a bunch of them had already hit, which makes no sense. The same thing with the woman who's the director of like everything, who was the one who put the whole entire secret mountain base together. She didn't want him to hit the button. And it's like, why though? Why don't you want him to hit the button? She actually wanted him to launch America's nuclear missiles, all of them, which makes no sense. But she had some sort of idea that we are the last of humanity, so then everyone else should just die. They didn't know for certain if people would somehow survive this. So, but her logic was that even if people somehow survive this, disaster scenario, let's make the earth uninhabitable for them, which makes no sense. So I feel like they write things into the plot for this show just for the sake of like, ooh, this is like sensational, but it doesn't actually make sense because why would somebody do that? Why would you not want to stop the nuclear missiles from destroying all of wherever they were shooting them to if you could? It is not making sense. Another thing that doesn't make sense about this show, they had 10 years to put this whole secret mountain base together. They could have actually just planned with the entire world to say, hey, this is going to happen 10 years from now, so let's all plan together so that we don't, so a decent amount of us can survive this, so you can prepare somehow. Maybe you build yourself a little underground bunker. But instead of doing that, they decided to only plan for like a select few people. It's the whole thing, like in that episode where they reveal like the day everything happens, and they're in the White House and they're like, yeah, so y'all ain't going with us, sorry. And it's like, really? You could have literally taken they could have built multiple bases. That's one thing I didn't think made any sense. And then it's the part where the main guy who's the bodyguard is yelling at Cal, the president, about how he could have told everybody, 10 years ago. And he was basically like, I'm the president, who cares, whatever, deal with what we have going on in this moment. Get on the airplane or get on the helicopter or don't. And it's like, the planning of this whole entire thing made no sense. Because why would you not convene with the rest of the world? Why would you keep it a secret from the whole country and say we're only going to save us and whoever we decide and everyone else can just die? That makes no sense. So that's my one gripe with the show. Other than that, it's okay, but I just feel like a lot of the plot lines are predictable. Like the daughter, Presley, not listening to the father and going off when she wasn't supposed to. The only way she could have been used as a bargaining chip by the architect woman is if she went off when she wasn't supposed to. So it's like the characters make decisions only for the sake of the plot, not because they actually make sense. So, yeah.